Senate Bill number 43, and I think we've got some distinguished guests that are going to be assisting Senator Appel with this bill.
And this is Senator White's bill also.
Both of y'all need help, so.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I need two. As y'all heard in the Senate chamber, this is the Legislative Youth Advisory Council, and they actually created the language in this bill and participated in it, so they're going to answer questions and discuss the bill. I am just presenting Senate Bill 43, but I do have an amendment that I'd like to offer up. It's Amendment 972. This amendment was done at the behest of the governor's office and some other folks after they read the bill and thought it needed an adjustment. So I'd offer
Pretty
that
self-forward. Any objection to the amendment? Hearing none. Amendment is approved.
You're Andrew? Yes. Okay. All right.
Senator
well,
White, you want to go now, or you want to? Go ahead.
I just wanted to welcome here. I met with him for a couple of hours in LMA's conference room, and we talked a while, and then I got a chair and sit down, and I think I answered questions for about an hour and a half. So that's another group that very inquisitive and very curious about our government, and I really enjoyed it, and there are really some sharp, intelligent young folks there that I spent the afternoon with one day, and I enjoyed it, and thank you. Welcome to the Capitol.
Okay, let's see. We're going to start. Okay, Laura is going to. Laura Peters from Jenna is going to have a. You want to say something? Oh, I'm sorry. Andrew's going to say something. We're a little disorganized. Go ahead, Andrew. Just speak into the mic and say your name first.
My name is Andrew Gary. I'm representing the Louisiana Legislative Youth Advisory Council, and I'm a junior at St. Martin's Episcopal School in Metairie, Louisiana. The story of Senate Bill 43 really starts after Parkland, when I decided I'm tired of looking at these as an issue of politics. Let's look at it as an issue of emergency management, because school safety fundamentally is emergency management. And in emergency management, there's this principle. It's called the whole community approach. Whole community approach is pretty simple. It says involve all the stakeholders, because every stakeholder brings something to the table. And when I looked at school safety, I noticed we weren't involving a major stakeholder, the student body, especially high schoolers, since they're mature enough to be involved in this discussion. So Senate Bill 43 rectifies the situation. It allows high schoolers to be involved in the discussion of the safety of their schools, and allows for their input to be heard and recognized by the school administration. And ultimately, it will only benefit school safety as high schoolers bring a unique insight to this issue and are able to address problems that faculty and administration don't recognize or aren't able to connect with as well. High schoolers are able, because when we look at school safety, it's not just the mass shootings, it's mental health, and it's social media and cyberbullying. And high schoolers are more able to to help address those situations because we deal with those on a daily basis.
Good morning, Senators. I am Laura Peters from Gina High School, and I'm representing the Louisiana Legislative Youth Advisory Council, and I am also testifying in favor of Senate Bill number 43. One question that many of you are probably asking is, why do we need this bill? We believe our bill is essential for many different reasons. By implementing students' input to school crisis management, you get a different point of view that might not necessarily be always recognized. I mean, most of the adults in our high school haven't been in high school for about 20 years. If you add a student's input to this, that you get a fresh perspective that many have probably already thought about. This also improves our school morale. Most of our students, we don't want them to feel like, oh, what will I do for this? With this bill, that will push students to think about how to help their peers and how will we save a lot of people instead of just themselves. Students also have already planned on how to act if the occasion ever arises. I know the other day in my math class, our teacher was talking to us, well, if anything terrible ever happens, this is what I'm going to do and this is what I want you to do. This bill would just formalize the plans that are already in place within the student body. We as a high school students should only have to worry about our ACT scores for the college we so desperately want to get into, the new movie that's fixing to be released, and if we are chosen for the jobs we just applied for. We should not have to live in fear every day, wondering if today will be the day that something terrible may happen in our school. By implementing this bill, the worries and fears of students could be put at ease. It might not solve all of our problems related to school tragedies, but is one step closer to our goal of safer schools. It may be a small step, but this bill can go a long way towards a peace of mind for our students. Thank you for your time.
My name is Madeline Mawbrew, and I'm here representing LIAC. I'm from Homo Christian School. Just this past year, my school put up a 10-foot fence around our areas because there were some areas that were just easy access for people to come in and out. And when they put this fence up, I thought, why couldn't I think of that idea? Like, it's an easy idea that almost anybody can think about, but I thought, why didn't I think of that or say something? And it's because I was never put in a place where I can think about those things, where I thought, okay, let me designate time to just think about our school safety, because now I'm a senior and I'm thinking, I gotta worry about my ACT, what college I'm getting into. And I don't tend to think about these emergency situations until after they've already happened, or until something similar happens in Florida and California. And so I just thought, if this bill did get passed and I were to be that student on the committee or being involved in this, what would I do differently than I've already been doing? And I would take more, I'd feel more accountable for my fellow students and for my school in general. And I'd feel more responsibility to make choices that benefit everybody. So I might say, well, why don't we get local police to come here and to see if they can do something about safety, see if they can talk to us about things that they've seen around, and to just educate us more. I might put forth the extra effort to get local police to come here and talk to us, but I wouldn't think about that on a normal basis. And that's what this bill would do for us. It would get students who are not normally thinking about these situations to start thinking about them and to think about better solutions or to go above and beyond. Teachers and other faculty who are on school boards already have other jobs or other things that they're thinking about. So if we as students take on this initiative and cooperate with schools and think about these ideas, I think we'd get a lot done. Thank you.
Hey, Ms. Marlborough, where are you from?
Homo Christian.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead.
Good morning. My name is Eugenia Williams. I attend Westminster Christian Academy, and I'm a senior. I just wanted to re-emphasize what Madeline just said. My school just installed a security system after last year. Our school got broken into. It's an open campus, very big campus. We have to walk outside to get to almost every class. As student body president, I feel like if I were put in a position where I was able to give my input to our administrators and higher ups, I feel like some of these systems would have been implied way earlier. I guess sometimes our faculty don't think about these sort of things because yes, they are in the classrooms, but we see more than they do at certain times. As a senior, I feel like I'm not prepared to go to college because I don't know any safety plans. Like if an active shooter were to come on campus anywhere, I wouldn't know anything to do except run because it's a private school. We don't get taught the same run, fight, hide things that public schools are taught. We don't get drilled that from elementary to high school at all. So it's just fend for yourself. So I feel like our input would impact our students and our future forever. And with this bill in place, that would make sure that would happen. Thank you.
Good morning, Senators. My name is Caitlin Foray. I go to Walker High School and I'm a sophomore. LIAC has been in contact with several organizations and officials to talk about our bill, and their feedback has been mostly great. The Louisiana Municipal Association said that they had no position on this bill, and the Governor's Office of Homeland Security and Emergency Preparedness also said that they had no opposition to Senate Bill 43. The Louisiana Association of Principals and the Louisiana Association of School Superintendents have both raised concern that they are afraid about how much access that the chosen students will be given to the school safety plan and the information. Our response as LIAC to this is that we feel that the amount of student access is left up to the principal of the school. And we understand that this information is very sensitive and that not all students should have information, should have an input to the safety plan. But we do we do ask that the student input is considered when the plan is reviewed annually, and that the input will only be given by 2 students. And we trust that the principal's sound judgment will determine who the students will be, and that they will make a great decision.
Good morning. My name is Relina Ramarkiani. I'm honored to have been part of LIAC for the past 2 years. Based on the compelling statements my fellow LIAC members have presented today, we humbly request you grant favorable passage for this bill. Thank you so much for your time and attention.
Thank you, Tammy. Thank you all for that testimony. I do have one other card who wishes to speak for information purposes only. Tammy Seneca. Tammy, would you like to speak? I don't think she's still. Okay, she's not here. So, as Senator Appel comes back to the mic for his closing, I'll read some other cards in support who do not wish to speak. Shane Riddle with LAE, Debbie Moe with LAE, Kenton Cooper with LAE, Lee Fawcett with LASE, Susan Nelson with the Louisiana Partnership for Children and Families, Michael Falk with the Louisiana Association of School Boards, Dr. Aaron Bindley with Bessie, Dr. Janet Pope with the Louisiana Association of School Boards, Dr. Marky Pierre with the LSBA, and Dr. Keith Leger with the Council for a Better Louisiana. Senator Appel to close. I'm sorry, questions? Senator Mizell had a question.
Thank you. She was reading my sign language here. Thank you all. And I want you to understand that most of the time when you're not included, people of my generation want to protect you from the ugliness that's out there.
Right.
And it's really, I have a granddaughter in high school. She's always been homeschooled, kind of a protection thing. Okay, she's in a Christian school now. They had a drill. And more than anything, the concern was they didn't know if it was really a drill or not. So I think it's a shame the world we live in has exposed you all, because you should be thinking about your ACT and your college and your boyfriends or whatever. I'm sorry for the world we've left you all. I am really sorry for it. But I think more than anything, you all want to have a voice at the table of the input. Yes. And I think that this is, and I really hope that, I guess you all would have to follow through with the superintendent to make sure that this is actually being done, because you can put it in place, but making sure it happens requires follow through. And that's the challenge to all of us, is to make sure that what we're trying to do has follow through. But I want to thank you all for caring and having a legacy on this.
I just wanted to say that I feel like I'm kind of leaving behind. I just want to leave something better for the juniors at my school, because I've talked. They're having their election this week for student council, and the 2 girls that are running for student body president look up to me and they're like, Eugenia, what do I do? What things do I need to get done next year? And for me, now that this bill is in place, I told them, if this bill gets passed, make sure that something gets implemented in our school, that you guys are involved in the planning of our safety procedures, because like I said, none of us are prepared for anything that would come to us. One of our teachers said the other day, now that I think about it, the reason we don't do drills is because if something were to happen, they don't want us to think that it's a drill. They want us to know it's the real thing. So
the adrenaline.
I understand that, but it's just hard for us to know that if something were to happen, we don't know what's going to happen.
Right.
It's just going to be out of shock and pure just instinct.
Well, what you've done is a good thing, but I also have a feeling you've left a lasting impression on those kids who are following you. So thank you all. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator Mizell. I have one quick question, and I don't want to embarrass Ms. Marlborough, but is there any chance, or are you Senator Chabert's niece? No? Well, you're very fortunate.
Yes.
His sister is married to a Marlborough, and I thought maybe you were his niece, and I just wanted to tell you you were much more eloquent and much better spoken than Senator Chabert. But in that case, You're still much more eloquent and much better speaker than Senator Chabert. Senator Appel to close.
Well, I just wanted to make note for these folks that they got a lot more green cards than I ever get on any of my bills. That's a significant accomplishment. So congratulations to them, and at this point, I would ask for favorable, to report the bill favorably.
Member Senator Appel is moved favorable on Senate Bill 43 as amended. Without objection, Senate Bill 43 will be reported as amended. Thank you.
Thank you all,
Senator
and
Appel,
thank you, Senator
thank
White,
you to
for
the
your hard
panel,
work,
to
too.
all of you speakers.
Bodie did a lot of work on this, too, so thank you, Senator White.
We'll get a co-author sheet passed around, Senator Appel, because I think you'll have a full slate of co-authors.